Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rockingham Speedway here in North Carolina, formerly known as the North Carolina Speedway. Tonight, the National Speed Association here on iRacing is going to take on this bumpy 1 mile track. It's a little D-shaped track in North Carolina. It's no longer active on the NASCAR schedule, but these guys said, hey, that's not a problem. We'll take the track on, and it is definitely one bumpy track. Right around 25-degree banking in the corners, about 8-degree banking on the straightaway. Roger Penske at one point had bought this track back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and operated it for a long time. Word on the street, though, Rockingham could be coming back. But that's, more on the, guess I'm going to say real world side tonight, though. This is the virtual side here with the NSA, and let's take a moment here to take a look here at our point standings. Point standings tonight brought to you by Voice Attack, and there it is. There's our top 20 drivers on the screen. Chris Garrett right now holds a 10-point lead over the man Chris Stump, who's 10 points back there. Chris Stump winning last week at Martinsville. Dustin Phillips right now finds himself third in the point standings, 14 points back. Doug Lemons does find himself fourth on the points chart. Charles Widener right there fifth. Jamie Christensen right there in sixth. DeMarco Starks is seventh in your points, 23 points back, and only right behind him by 1 point. That's going to be Keith Dunn there in eighth. Ninth going to go to James Babb, and rounding out the top 10 in your Voice Attack points here, Stephen Page, 37 points out of your points lead. So that's your top 10 drivers. A couple of them missing in action here tonight. Rockingham, not, a favorable track for a lot of drivers, but these guys who have come out here tonight looking to take one home. Top 10 over here on the left-hand side of the screen. Stump does have that 98 machine wound up here. He said that's it. That's a race run time for him. He wasn't even out there on a qualifying lap at that point, but right now, Chris Stump has the cover on the truck and sitting back in the garage. Jamie, though, in the number 9 is running in your second place here. Charlie Widener, though, third on the practice charts. Chris Garrett is fourth, with A.J. Hamill running in that fifth spot right now. Coming up here in about 2 minutes, actually 2 minutes, 10 seconds, qualifying for these boys. Tonight, also here on MaxSpeedTV, though, the NSRA, the Truck Series, the Super Speedway boys, they're up with Rudy Cummings. New league here over on MaxSpeedTV, the I-States Association, presented by LFOD, another one of those Truck Series. Rudy Cummings, or not Rudy, Rudy's broadcasting the one before that. But tomorrow night, though, over here on MaxSpeedTV, you can find the United States Midget Association and the OP Racing League. But tonight, it's all about these National Speed Association boys here from Rockingham Speedway. Thunder Alley, you see it right there. Coming up next, qualifying, you see these boys roaming around here trying to put as much speed in the trucks as they can. So stay tuned, and we will bring you live qualifying action here on MaxSpeedTV.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, race fans. Open qualifying has just begun, and one of the first drivers out here on track going to be that number 9 here of Jamie Christensen. Jamie last week having a good run. Probably not exactly what he wanted, but an 8th place finish over at Martinsville. Found himself, though, caught up in, I don't want to say incidences, as he was one of the guys who just got trapped a lap down under green flag pit stops when the yellow came out. So as Jamie's the first one out here, as you see him right down along that yellow line as he entered, but then a bunch of the bumps down there on the bottom. iRacing didn't get to scan this track here at Rockingham till after, I believe it was a season and a half after they had closed the gates, so the track service got a little bit of wear on it. So right now, Jamie will take that number 9 to the top of the boards. He's going to do a one and done on his first lap, but he'll be able to get her 4 fresh tires and come back out on the track. How about last week's winner, though, the 98 here of Chris Stump? Chris Stump led 110 laps last week to park that machine in victory lane. Chris, one of those short track drivers, so I'm sure he's looking forward to seeing what he can do here tonight from the Rock. Only 2 drivers out on track, as you saw Stump and Christensen a little bit ago. Looks like right now we might have another driver attempting to come out here. The number 1 of Stephen Page going to bring that number 1 machine out here with 3 minutes left in the open qualifying. 11 drivers here tonight to take a qualifying attempt here from Rockingham. Rockingham, like I said, has an old wore-out surface. So while we're here in qualifying for these boys, let's take a look here at our pre-race. Pre-race, the air temp tonight is a very cool 71 degrees. Track temp right around 72. I saw it as high as 75 degrees. These boys were telling me in the lobby beforehand, though, that's not what they had practiced, as they do use dynamic weather, and it's a little cooler here today in North Carolina, so you see the track temp way down below where it was for practice. Tonight, 110 laps from this 1 mile track, equal a little over 1 mile. It's about 1.02 miles. So that's going to equal out to about 112 miles around this track. Tire window tonight, being the old wore-out surface, 6 to 8 laps. Fuel window, we didn't get a fuel window from the drivers, but pit road speed, if we get to green flag pit stops, will be 40 miles an hour. They hum around the track about 150 in the corners, 160. So we're going to have to see if we can get the trucks woed down enough to pit road speed. Keep an eye also on that air temp and track temp here tonight as the race goes on. It is overcast. So there's your 3 drivers who have put in qualifying times. Here comes a new driver out onto the track, the number 90, Trey Hoovler. He drove from a couple laps down last week to battle back to having a good, solid 2nd place finish. He was in the running with Chris Stump and then just kind of ran out of time to get back to Stump. You see Stump out here once again. He has the top spot right now with a 21.943 with just about a minute to go here. Only 4 drivers electing to put in an open qualifying time. Talking about Chris Stump, since he's one of the only drivers out on track right now, he was the fastest in our practice session here. Winner from last week, so he's coming in off a very, running real high right now with momentum. Comes into the night, 2nd in points, right behind Chris Garrett in the 57, who is in attendance here tonight, but has not brought that truck out onto the track. Looks like only 1 driver on track. That is going to be the number 1 of Stephen Page, as we have 16 seconds left. So only 4 guys going to attempt the qualifying attempt here. So with only 1 second to go there for Stephen Page, looks like he will get to finish this time lap that he's on, and then that will finish qualifying for these truckers. There you see he comes across the line. That actually is his best time. He goes with a 22.187, so picked it up a little bit there on that lap, but still a little bit off the pace from the likes of Chris Stump or Jamie Christensen, Trey Hoovler, who is third, and Stephen Page is fourth out of the four guys who put in a qualifying attempt here. So that will conclude qualifying here from Rockingham, North Carolina. These truckers about, though, to see who can do battle. Wait for these guys to grid up here before we get through our starting lineup for tonight. 11 drivers once again logging in here from the Rock to take on Thunder Alley down the backstretch and see who can keep the momentum up. A rough track surface tonight. You're going to see a lot of dust flying probably off these tires as the marbles on this track just kind of seem to gather and they don't really go away. Have to see how the guys here tonight handle that, but let's get here to your voice attack starting lineup for these truckers. Tonight, Chris Stump going to take the pole position. Right alongside him, though, going to be the number 9 of Jamie Christensen. Trey Hoovler in the number 90, going to try and start here on, on the grid here tonight. Trey scheduled to start in that third position. Stephen Page was one of your last guys to take a qualifying attempt in that number 1 Toyota. He will roll off in the fourth starting position. Fifth spot scheduled to start, the number 44 of James Babb. The 57-year points leader there of Chris Garrett should start 6th. 7th is going to go to the 31 of Ryan Lang. Starting 8th tonight on the grid, the number 18 of A.J. Hamill. 9th position going to go to the 95 of Charlie Widener. And right alongside him, the number 35 of J.J. Garrett. Starting in the 11th position and rounding out your 11 truck field here, the 59 of Bruce Potter. So 11 drivers here tonight. 110 laps. Who will walk away with the victory here from Rockingham? Who can handle the 1 mile bumpy 25-degree banking corners tonight? We're going to find out here in just one pace lap to put some heat in the tires, heat in the motor, and then we're going to let them go. Looks like all drivers but 2 going to take to the grid here. It looks like the 44 of James Babb and the number 31 of Ryan Lang not going to make the grid here tonight. Maybe just a little bit of connection issues with those gentlemen, but right now not on the starting lineup. So that'll move everybody up a couple positions who were slated to start towards the rear of the field. So an overcast sky day here at the Rock affecting the handling of these trucks in practice session. We're going to find out, as it looks like actually we're going to get 1 lap. I was correct. See, sometimes I get it right once in a while, but there's the green flag. We're going to go green flag racing for the first time here from Rockingham, and Chris Stump got in a great start there on that initial start, but the battle is going to be back here as they settled it real quick. Trey Hoovler went right around the inside there, the number 9 of Jamie Christensen, and then there's also a battle back here for that 6th and 7th position between the 35 of Garrett to the outside and Hamill on the inside. That's the battle for the 6th and the 7th position. 9 drivers taking the green flag here. Hamill right now settled in that number 7 spot. So he's able to fall in right behind JJ, but he's getting a little bit of pressure there from the 95 of Widener. Widener was actually really quick in practice. He came into the night not thinking he had a chance in you-know-what, and he actually had the quick time there for a long time in practice until Chris Stump came in and threw down one blistering time and kind of knocked Charlie back just a little bit. Right now, though, Charlie trying to, settle in right now in 8th position. Chris Stump, though, has led the first 2 laps. He's going to come across the line here in lead lap number 3 for the evening. So Chris Stump qualifying on the pole, and right now has about a half-second lead over that man right there in the number 90, Trey Hoovler. Trey got a new paint scheme on that number 90 this week. It looks like he got the advanced auto parts on the quarter panels of that truck, along with the NOS energy drink. So Trey finds himself running in that 2nd spot with Jamie Christensen right there in 3rd, right behind him. 4 laps in the books real quick here Guy's running 22 seconds. Oh, it looks like the 57 there of Chris Garrett goes around on the backstretch here on Thunder Alley. He looks to possibly going to get it turned around. No caution being thrown. No quick repairs, so Chris going to have to deal with that damage on the front nose of that Toyota Tundra. No caution going to fly. He's going to get her pointed the right direction. He will carry on. Chris came into the night as your points leader. Now we're going to have to see as he runs ninth. So, I mean, there's only 9 drivers on track right now, so still could walk away with a top 10 finish unless Ryan Lang or James Babb do decide to take to the track here tonight. But right now, Chris Garrett's going to be slotted, I think it's about 15 seconds behind the leader, which really gives him not a lot of wiggle room. About a 4-second, 5-second gap over that man, Chris Stump, right there. So as Garrett's at the start-finish line, here comes Stump off turn 3 and 4. So 7 laps in the book here. Chris Stump's led all of them, but the battle is for the 2nd and 3rd position. Here comes Jamie Christensen. He's going to go to the inside on Trey Hoovler. He's going to make the move, and he'll clear him off turn number 4. Trey didn't put up that big of a battle because it's so early, and it looks like here comes Stephen Page. He's going to get to the inside here of the 90 of Hoovler. Possibly the tires going away on that number 90 of Trey Hoovler as he's now dropped back to 4th. And J.J. Garrett in the 35 is actually coming pretty quick up on Trey Hoovler, so we're going to have to see if J.J. can catch him and make the pass for the 4th spot now. As we talk about that 35 there, J.J. Garrett, look at Charlie Widener as he closes up on the back bumper going through 3 and 4 and kind of had to back off just a little bit as they go down into 1 and 2 now. Look, there's J.J. He's going to jump to the inside. It looks like possibly the one of Stephen Page got a big bobble, and that kind of bunched up the field behind him. As they go down into the 3 and 4 here, it's still going to be Page, Hoovler. Look at Widener on the outside there. Charlie Widener going to go to the outside in the 95 right around J.J. Garrett. He made it stick on the outside. Weren't sure if we were going to see any outside lane passes, but Charlie Widener went up there. He was the first one to show us that the high lane does work. As it looks like Trey Hoovler going to get around the number 1, though, of Stephen Page. So put Hoovler back into 3rd. Page right now runs in the 4th position, and Charlie Widener and J.J. Garrett, though, are still battling it out for that 5th and 6th position. And as they do that, that allowed the number 18 of A.J. Hamill to close up on the back bumper of them. So now it's everybody running from your 3rd position to your 7th position right here, nose to tail. Storming around here on lap number 13 as they go back down Thunder Alley one more time. J.J. Garrett still working that bottom lane as Widener running the outside. Looks like Widener's going to lose out on that. And here comes the number 18, the Discount Tire Tundra to the inside. Here comes A.J. Hamill. He's looking to take that 6th position away and start to move up. A.J. had a late entry here into the lobby, so didn't get a lot of practice time in that number 18 Discount Tire Toyota. But right now, starting to make up some ground. Right now, he's going to take over that 6th position there from Charlie Widener. Charlie's, though, going to not give up the position oh so easy. He's going to fight back and try and make it, a little bit of a battle here for AJ. Down into 3 and 4 once again. That time, though, AJ Hamill just able to get through the middle of that corner a lot better than Widener. He's going to take over the 6th position. Let's find out where Chris Stump runs right now. There's Chris Stump coming down Thunder Alley down the backstretch. Into 3. Chris Stump out front here from Rockingham. So as Chris Stump finds himself out front, it's about a 2-second lead back till you find that man on screen. That's the number 9 there of Jamie Christensen. He came in here tonight looking to have a good, solid run. Right now, with 18 laps in the books here, finds himself running in that 2nd position. Looks like all drivers who took the green flag here tonight are still on track. Chris Garrett, though, right now finds himself 3 laps down, still out there running with that Under Armour 57. 3 laps down, running in that 9th position. Looks like a little contact possibly there that time through 1 and 2 there from A.J. Hamill and J.J. Garrett as they battle for the 6th and 7th position. Right now, A.J. has it. He was storming through the field there for a moment and then kind of stalled out here once he got around J.J. and slipped back into the grasp of J.J. Now he's going to go under that number 9, or the number 95 there, Charlie Widener. Looks like A.J. Hamill will make that pass. You see the sun starting to make an appearance here on lap number 21. See how that could really start to mess with these drivers and their setups tonight. Seems like the sun is just shining here on the front stretch right now. Looks like everybody started the single file out here. Right now, everybody just working in for a long run here. Top 5 at the top of the screen. It's still Stump, Christensen, Hoovler, Page, and Hamill rounds out that top 5 as they run. Now the sun really starting to shine on to all just about turns 3 and 4 right now. Have a little bit of sun on this little 1 mile track. A.J. Hamill now in that 18 has caught the back bumper there, the number 1 of Steve Page. Little 2 different lines there. I believe I just saw sparks fly from the 35 of J.J. Garrett, who runs just behind these guys. You see A.J., though, still able to hold the bottom lane, going through the corners. Stephen Page kind of about a car length up. So let's see how that plays out here in just a couple laps as the battle here is for the 4th and 5th position. Now here going down into 3, it looks like A.J. Hamill forced Stephen Page to drive it in real hard. He washed up the track. The number 18 of A.J. Hamill going to go to the 4th position now at the line. So A.J. Hamill now goes to the 4th position, and look at Charlie Widener. He's trying to take advantage of where that number 18 went, and he does the same thing through 1 and 2. Give Charlie Widener that position as Stephen Page is starting to fight back just 1 lap later. Page, though, not going to be able to, attack right now on Charlie Widener. So Widener going to have the 5th position. Stephen Page going to have that 6th position. Now the man who's trying to catch up to Stephen Page is going to be the 35 there of J.J. Garrett. And right behind Garrett, don't forget the man. He's just been quiet back here, running laps, seeing where everybody else is running. That 59 of Bruce Potter just running there in the 8th position. Page still holding down that 6th position. Let's check back out front, though, with Chris Stump. Right now, he's opened up a good-sized gap. There you see it, the car behind Chris Stump going to be about 4.2 seconds back there until we find the number 9 here of Jamie, who's having a solid run still, running in the 2nd position. Trey Hoovler has that number 90. Advanced Auto Parts Machine there, running in your 3rd position. And A.J. Hamill up from the 8th spot, now running 4th in that Discount Tire 18. He's actually starting to pull in Trey Hoofler just a little bit here on this long run, so we're keeping an eye on A.J. Hamill and see how much or how he can pull in Trey Hoofler. Charlie Widener, though, has that 95 right there slotted in your top 5. A good run here in the early goings, as it's only 32 laps here out of the 110 in the books here for Charlie Widener as he runs in that 5th position. Bruce Potter has got around JJ and Stephen Page. Right now he finds himself 6th. JJ Garrett runs in the 7th position, as actually it looks like there's some damage done to Stephen Page as he's going to pull that number 1 truck down pit road. So wonder what happened to the number 1 here as Stephen Page as he's coming down pit road with a bunch of damage. He runs right now in that 8th position. Have to see if he can carry on, but there's the man that's out front, Chris Stump. Started from the pole and is led right now 33 laps. So right now it looks like everybody has a little bit of space between each other. Right now the battle, though, between Trey Hoofler and A.J. Hamill. There you see A.J. on the screen, about a half second. A.J. is now starting to really turn up the heat and try and go after the number 90 of Trey Hoofler, who runs in 3rd. A.J. right there, still around the bottom, trying to get as close as he can to that yellow lane. As AJ runs 5th, let's take a look. Actually, it looks like Charlie Widener runs back here. And for a second, I was about to say Bruce Potter is on his tailgate, but that was just a little bit of a glitch. Charlie Widener, though, does run there in your 5th spot. That's the man out front, Chris Stump. Now he has about a 5.8 second lead over Jamie. Continued to really put on one blistering of a pace. Let's see what this lap at the line is going to go for Chris Stump. Last time by at the line, that was a 23.68. Let's see where Jamie comes in. Jamie comes in with a 23.9. So a good little distance there in the last lap for both those drivers. And it looks like Trey Hoofler, who was starting to become under pressure from A.J. Hamill, now trying to catch up to the number 9 at Christensen. As you can see, Jamie just right out in front. There's Trey. Jamie out in front of him by just a little bit, and A.J. still trying to catch him. These are your closest 3 drivers on track right now. The number 9 of Christensen starting to really fade here. As you see, he got a little bit of a wiggle there coming off turn number 2 this time by. That really allowed Trey and AJ to really start to close the gap on him. Right now, Jamie has about, I'd say about a 5 truck length lead, 6 truck length lead over that number 90 of Trey Hoofler. And Hoofler only got about a car and a half over A.J. Hamill, so it's about to be a 3-way battle here for 2nd place because Hoofler's coming and A.J.'s right on the tailgate of that truck. As it looks like A.J. Hamill going to go to the inside here on Trey Hoofler, tried to slide up in front of him. Hoofler lets him have the position. He knows it's still not quite halfway. So it's going to be now A.J. Hamill to third. Can A.J. Hamill run down the number 9 of Jamie Christensen? A.J. Hamill, remember, started back in your 8th position, now runs in your 3rd spot. Don't worry, Chris Stump, ladies and gentlemen, is still out front. Has about a 6.5 second gap back to this battle that's about to start brewing between Hamill and Christensen. As here comes AJ, he's going to look to the inside on the front stretch this time by to see if he can get around that number 9. It looks like he's going to have the position. A.J. Hamill to spot number 2 here with Jamie falling back to 3rd for the time being, and Trey Hoovler, who kind of pulled A.J. Hamill up here for the battle for 2nd, is just kind of riding right now in that 4th spot. Let's check here while we're on lap 47. There's your race progress so far. A.J. Hamill's up 6 spots. Look at that 59, though. Bruce Potter, he's been up 5 spots since the start of this race. Right now, though, the guy who's lost the most spots, unfortunately for right now, though, the number 1 is Stephen Page, who's actually back out on track. But right now, 4 laps down, running in that 9th spot. That's your race progress here on lap 48 for the race. Chris Stump, that's the Alice number 98 Toyota, still leading the way here. So let's walk you through your 9 drivers here on track. Chris Stump out front. He's led 48 laps. Once he comes back around, that'll be lap 49 for himself here tonight. A.J. Hamill right now runs that number 18 Discount Tire Machine 2nd. Trey Hoovler has worked his way around the number 9 there of Jamie. Trey Hoovler now runs in your 3rd position. A little bit of right front damage. I'm sure it probably came as he came off turn 3 at one point. We just didn't catch it. As actually it looks like our first driver down pit road going to be the number 9 here, Jamie Christensen. He's going to give up his 4th running spot, and he'll come down. So he's going to be your first guy on pit road here on lap 50. So that'll move Charlie Widener up to 4th right now with Bruce Potter in 5th and J.J. Garrett in your 6th spot. 8th is going to be the number 57 of Chris Garrett, and Stephen Page will be 9th because Jamie Christensen down pit road runs in that 7th position. We're going to have to see when all your other leaders decide they want to come down pit road. Right now, though, Chris Stump going to stay out there. He's going to lead lap 51, so 51 laps in the book now here, working lap 52. Chris Stump can make it just a couple more laps. He can make it the rest of the way with just 1 stop. I'm sure Jamie Christensen did the strategy play, and he figured it out that he was good to go from there. And now the number 90 here, Trey Hoovler, going to give up the spot, and he's going to come down pit road. So now Hoovler in that 90, bringing it down to the attention of his pit crew, and he's going to put 4 fresh tires on it and get back out there. A.J. Hamill, though, now worked around the lap car of Stephen Page. Page, though, going to dive down to the inside here in 3 and 4. Page being just a handful of laps down. See if A.J. Hamill's going to come down pit road. No, he's going to stay out there. Actually, it looks like here comes Chris Stump. Stump's going to hand the lead over to Hamill. Hamill's going to lead a lap here. So the Cialis machine going to come down to get 4 fresh tires. That will leave A.J. Hamill at the top spot. See that number 90 right in front of A.J. Hamill. That's Trey Hoovler. Hoovler 1 lap down right now, running in the 7th spot after he made his pit stop. And here comes A.J. Hamill. Hamill going to bring her down pit road, down to pit road speed there, 40 miles an hour. Let's see where Charlie Widener is. Widener going to go to the lead. He's going to lead a lap. He's just going to edge out Hamill, I believe. No, it still scores that A.J. Hamill, the leader at the line, so Charlie Widener not going to get credit with leading a lap. He's going to have to stay out there one more lap if he wants a bonus point here tonight. There you see it. Widener will stay out. He will lead a lap in that number 95. The Mountaineers machine. So 3 gentlemen have led laps here tonight. Charlie started all the way back there, last man to take the grid here tonight, and has worked his way to the lead here during green flag pit stops, as it looks like he's going to come down pit road now, so that will leave just 2 drivers out there. J.J. Garrett, who goes around him. J.J. is going to take over the lead here on lap 56. He'll lead a lap from the start, so now J.J. Garrett gets a point. That's just going to leave 2 drivers out there right now who have not pitted yet here tonight. It looks like J.J. Garrett is going to pull her off on the backstretch. Not sure if he's out of fuel or what, but he is well off the pace. He's going to bring down the Intimicati down pit road. That'll leave Bruce Potter, the last one out here. Bruce just quietly out there running around and now finds himself during green flag pit cycles as your leader. He leads 1 lap here. Looks like he'll come down pit road this time. He'll come off the racing surface. That should hand the lead back over to Chris Stump once we cycle back through. Let's find where Chris Stump is. Chris Stump just coming through 1 and 2 right now. He is second spot for the time being as Bruce Potter comes down pit road to get his service done to that 90 or the 59 machine. See it. Chris Stump now taking back over the lead here after green flag pit cycles have cycled through. Looks like this will be a one-stop race unless a caution comes out. These gentlemen, the tires that they're on, that should take them the rest of the way here tonight from Rockingham. 9 drivers still on track. Looks like everybody's back on track right now other than the 59 of Bruce Potter, who still sits in pit lane. May have had a pit lane penalty as he still sits in his box for an extended amount of time. Bruce Potter having to stay in his pit box. He's been sitting in his pit box now for 30 seconds over. So we'll have to see where Bruce Potter is going to be able to cycle out onto the track. Chris Stump, though, still leading the way here from Rockingham. There's your top 5 at the top of the screen after your first round of pit cycles. Still going to be Stump. Jamie Christensen takes back over the 2nd position. A.J. Hamill is 3rd. Trey Hoover runs 4th. And Charlie Widener right now rounds out the top 5 as they run. J.J. Garrett is 6th. Chris Garrett is 7th. Bruce Potter back out on track after serving a penalty. He runs in the 8th position, 2 laps down. And Stephen Page right now rounds out your 9 truck field, 2 laps down. So a really clean race here from these gentlemen on lap 63. No yellows have been thrown. We've had 1 truck go for a spin. That was the 57 of Chris Garrett. And he went for a spin early on in the race. I believe it was lap number 9. Chris Garrett went around in that machine. He hit the inside wall going down the backstretch. He turned her around, though, real quick. Stayed under green flag conditions. Runs right now in the 7th position. 1 lap down. Chris, your points leader coming into tonight, only had a 10-point lead over the man who finds himself out front of Chris Stump. And Chris Stump right now only has a 2-second lead over Jamie Christensen. Talking about your leader, he's starting to work up onto the back bumper here on Chris Garrett. So Garrett going to go another lap down here to Chris Stump as Stump goes to the inside. Garrett just going to allow him to go around. Looks like J.J. Fluffy Garrett, though, has right now taken that 35 machine to the hauler. We'll see if he can get some other repairs done to that one. We'll see if J.J. can get back out there on track. But right now, J.J. Garrett slotted in that 9th position. So right now only 5 drivers left on the lead lap. Charlie Widener, they're going to be the last machine. Oh, the one of Stephen Page is around on the backstretch. He's pointed in the wrong direction. The yellow will fly as the leaders are coming at him at a high rate of speed. JJ able to then get off the track. We're going to have to take a MaxSpeedTV replay here on lap 67 and see what happened to Stephen Page. Stephen Page was running in the 8th position. Oh, he comes off turn 2 and just tries to get back to the throttle, and around that truck goes. Look at Charlie Widener as he had to take evasive actions to go around that machine. Let's go back here and see if we can hop on board with Charlie Widener. Close call there for Widener in that 95 machine as he was able then, though, to work around the spinning number 1 of Stephen Page. Looks like all your leaders going to come down pit road. Chris Stump going to lead them down here for their first yellow flag stop, so they're all going to be bunched back up here once we go back green flag racing. The question is, though, who's going to get out of pit road first? Stump? Could it be the number 9 right behind him? How about number 18 of Hamill, Trey Hoovler? Even Charlie Widener runs right behind them coming down pit road. Looked like the 95 of Widener there kind of overshooting his pit stop. There's all your leaders, including the number 1 of Stephen Page, who's on his way still towing. I think the motor has expired on Page's truck, though, so let's see. Looks like Stump will win the battle off pit road. Jamie's still going to come out second. AJ Hamill's going to be third, and then looks like Trey Hoovler and Charlie Widener possibly sitting there getting some work done to both of those machines. So there's your top 5 at the screen after 68 laps here from the 1 mile track in North Carolina, The Rock, they call it. Chris Stump finds himself out front. Jamie Christensen there in second. AJ Hamill runs third with Charlie Widener fourth, and Trey Hoovler runs fifth right now. We'll be back here from The Rock to bring you more green flag action in just a moment. Welcome back. Lights on the pace car are off. We should go back green flag racing. Once again, thanks everybody for tuning in here tonight. You're watching the National Speed Association presented by Voice Attack right here on MaxSpeedTV. We're at North Carolina, not Charlotte, North Carolina. We are here from Rockingham for the truckers, and right now, 5 trucks left on the lead lap. Chris Stump going to lead us back to green here. Still got 7 guys out here roaming around. Just waiting on the iRacing pace car to come off the track. There it goes. We're going to go back green flag racing. Chris Stump back to the throttle real early once again. Chris Stump going to get a great start. That's going to leave AJ Hamill and the number 9 here, Jamie Christensen, back here battling for the second spot. Jamie's going to be able to take that spot coming off turn 2. He took the high lane around. Now A.J. Hamill going to have to defend here on the number 90, Trey Hoovler, because Hoovler has a quick truck. How about Charlie Widener? That gentleman coming in tonight thought he had no shot. Spoke to him earlier. He had the fastest truck for quite a while in practice, and Chris Stump joined the party and kind of rained on that. But right now, Charlie Widener still has that 95 machine running inside the top 5 here, all over the back there of the number 90 of Trey Hoovler. So you know, if you can run around the likes of A.J. Hamill and even Trey Hoovler, you know you've got a good setup under that truck. These guys do run an open setup here with the National Speed Association. So these guys spend all week out here practicing to put on one heck of a show. They're not just practicing side-by-side action. They're out there testing and fine-tuning these trucks. Right now, Charlie Widener still has a really good setup under that truck. Right now, Chris Stump still leading the way. He's had the dominant truck here all night, has led 68 laps. The only time he's relinquished the lead here tonight, that was under green flag pit stops when the likes of Potter led 2, Hamill led 2, Widener led 1, and Garrett led 1. So just a handful of drivers getting to lead a lap here tonight. Jamie Christensen still has that number 9 Toyota running their P2. He's just very quiet, just kind of keeps plugging along here tonight, just trying to stay within the grasp of Chris Stump to see if Stump makes a mistake, he can kind of pounce on him. Not very far back, though. A.J. Hamill still runs there in your 3rd spot, having a good night himself up from the 8th starting spot. Trey Hoovler just hanging around in that advanced auto parts machine. He's still got that 95 of Widener there right behind him. Stump still out front. There you see Jamie right behind him, though. Only about a 4 or 5 car length lead back there to their 2nd place runner. So still able to hang on there. Is Stump trying to save a little bit? You never know sometimes. I heard also from these guys, you just never know what's going through a short track racer like Chris Stump's mind. Is he out there playing cat and mouse with you? You just never know. Chris Stump only came out, ran a handful of laps in practice with a race setup, put it up on the top of the speed charts, went back to the garage, threw the cover over it, said he didn't want anybody to know what he had on the truck here tonight. Came out for qualifying, put it up on the pole, and still running away. 30 laps to go. Jamie starting to give a little time up here on Chris Stump. He's starting to slowly fall back. That's about 0.6 till the back bumper of the 98 of Stump. Working on timing and scoring. Now Chris Garrett in the 57, who spun around in the early goings here of this one, has now taken that 57 machine to the garage. Spent a lot of the race here tonight, a couple laps down. At one point he was 4 laps down, worked his way back to 2 laps down, and well, now he's decided that's about all he's going to get here tonight, and he's taking 57 behind the wall. So guys who have loaded him up here tonight, the 57 of Chris Garrett, the number 1 of Stephen Page, and the 35 of J.J. Garrett. Those 3 drivers did start the race. They're 7th, 8th, and 9th. 2 drivers registered for the lobby here tonight, but did not take to the grid. It's going to be the 44 of James Babb, the number 31 of Ryan Lang. Those 2 drivers not taking the grid here tonight. They run 10th and 11th in the event. So that leaves us with 6 drivers. Let's take you through the field here on lap 84. There's the man out front. Chris Stump still out front. 77 laps led for him. The number 9 here of Christensen runs second. Has been second pretty much all night long. A.J. Hamill up from the 8th position, led 2 laps here. Now finds himself 3rd with a great long run machine. Let's see if he can start to pull back in on the number 9 machine, or, you know, is he really a third-place truck? How about Charlie Widener, though? Charlie has now worked his way around Trey Hoovler, started in the 9th position, led a lap under the green flag pit cycle, now finds himself running 4th. What does he have left in the tank? Can he go get A.J. Hamill and come away with a top 3 finish here tonight? Trey Hoovler, we talked about him real quick last week. So this week still has a good truck out here, runs in the 5th spot. Last truck out here on track going to be that 59 of Bruce Potter, as he finds himself right now 1 lap down, but running in the 6th spot. Last truck running right now. You see, it looks like Trey Hoovler has started to close back in on Widener. 4th and 5th position. Your 2 closest runners right now on track. So we're going to stay fixated right here and see if Hoovler can start to really get closer to the back bumper of Charlie. Two Toyota drivers out here. I think just about everybody who took to the grid here tonight was a Toyota. And maybe we should see if we can get in contact with Toyota and their partners. As here comes Trey Hoovler to the inside of Charlie Widener. That's the battle for the 4th spot. Hoovler has the better line through the corner. But it looks like Widener going to be able to put the power down to the outside and just keep the momentum up. But right now, Charlie Widener going to still hang on to that 4th position. Trey Hoovler going to have to fall back just for a second, regain his composure, let the tires cool down a little bit, and then he'll pounce right back onto the back bumper. So 20 to go now. Chris Stump has opened up about a 1.5 second gap, and the gap then between Jamie Christensen right now and A.J. Hamill is about the same gap length up to Chris Stump, about a 1.5 seconds. 3-second gap from Chris Stump back to A.J. Hamill. And that battle's still back here between the 95 with Charlie Widener, who holds down the 4th position. Trey Hoovler not able to rebound just yet to the back bumper. Stump, Christensen, and Hamill out front in your first 3 positions. Charlie Widener, Trey Hoovler trying to put on one heck of a show back here for the 4th and 5th position. Hoovler starting to pull back in Charlie Widener now just a little bit. Question is, with 16 laps to go now at the line, does he have enough time? 17 laps to go, sorry, 17 laps. A lap ahead of myself here. Not able to really start to close back up on Widener, so right now he runs 4th, Hoovler runs 5th. Chris Stump, though, the man out front, is just dominated here tonight. Like 88 laps here. 15 laps to go, so now he's going to be slotted with 89 laps. So he will definitely, if my math is correct, he should come out of tonight here leading the most laps. Next closest guy to him who's led any laps, that's going to be the number 59 of Bruce Potter, as he has led 2 laps. A.J. Hamill has led 2 laps. Charlie Widener has led 1. And J.J. Garrett has also led 1 lap here tonight. So it's going to be close on who can lead the most laps. Let's see if Chris Stump can hang on to this Cialis machine and bring her home P1. There's going to be 13 more circuits as he works through turns 3 and 4 once again. Talked about this battle, and A.J. Hamill, that was going to have a good long run truck. Now it looks like that truck's starting to come in for him. as Hamill has now started to close back in on the back bumper here of the number 9 of Jamie Christensen. Jamie really pulled out to a good restart there as he was able to hang with Chris Stump for a good, I believe it was a good 10 to 15 laps. And now here comes A.J. Hamill as he's really started to come on here after lap 25. He's got a good long run truck, that number 18 discount tire machine. A.J. Hamill, one of those guys who really likes the short tracks. He won week 1 all the way back at Phoenix. We weren't there to bring you the live action for that one, but I heard A.J. Hamill was the winner for that one, then not able to compete in week number 2, so that's why he's really farther down on the point standings than you would think to see week 1's winner. Week number 2, if my memory serves me right, went to the likes of Doug Lemons, who is not here in action tonight. A.J. Hamill really is trying to work over that number 9. He's actually going to get that position quite easily. Jamie didn't put up too much of a battle actually there for A.J., so A.J. now going to go to second with under 10 to go. So you got 2 teammates running now first and second in their Toyotas. Stump out front, Hamill's now second. Christensen is now back to that 3rd spot. Hoover runs 4th with Widener in 5th, and Potter still running in that 6th spot. Closing laps here from Rockingham. Chris Stump still finds himself out front there as he works through turns 1 and 2. Chris Stump at this point just out to a Sunday drive. He's got a 3.5 second lead until you find those two right there, A.J. Hamill and Jamie, just sitting back here now. Can Jamie, cool the tires down and run back down A.J. Hamill, or is Hamill gonna run away and hide with that 2nd spot? Only got 7 more laps to see if Jamie can put the loud pedal down and catch back up. Let's see, Trey Hoovler just got around Charlie Widener. I just saw that light up here for us. So Trey Hoovler gonna go around and take the 4th spot from Charlie Widener. Widener now runs 5th, but still having one heck of a day. Good points day for Charlie, because Charlie came into the night running in the 5th position in points, so he'll have a good showing as Doug Lemons isn't here. It looks like Dustin Phillips not able to jump in the lobby with us tonight. And with Chris Garrett not going to finish this one, he's going to be slotted with a 7th place finish, but he's really going to start to bunch up the point standings after tonight, though Chris Stump should walk away if he can hang on only 5 more laps here. He should take over the points lead after this race. As Chris Stump comes off the corner there, he's going to get the 4 to go signal. Let's check back here with A.J. Hamill. He's not under any pressure right now. He just opened up about a 2nd gap back to the number 9 of Jamie Christensen. And then it's Trey Hoovler, who now holds about a 1/2 second lead. It's only about a 2.5, 3 truck length lead, though, over Charlie. So Charlie Widener still has time to try and, find a little grip in those tires yet and really start to make that comeback. As you see, Widener throws it in there, hits the apron a little bit. That's not going to help his cause, as Trey Hoovler, one of those drivers, you don't see him make too many mistakes. Last week he did hit the curbing at Martinsville. That's the only mistake I think we've ever seen Trey Hoovler make here, as that's a good guy if I was Charlie to try and take some notes from. Follow him around here tonight. 2 to go. 2 more laps for that man who's out front. Led over 100 laps here from Rockingham. Gonna come off turns 3 and 4 this time by. He should see the white flag. 1 more lap to go for Chris Stump as he works off turn 4. There it is, the 1 to go signal for Chris Stump. The man has just dominated all night long. He's led 103 when he comes back past Thunder Alley here, comes through 3 and 4. He'll be shown the checkered flag, and that will Give him 104 laps led here tonight out of the 110, and off turn 4 he comes. Chris Stump gonna win tonight's race here from Rockingham. AJ Hamill gonna come across the line in second. Jamie Christensen gonna come across there in third. Trey Hoovler gonna hang on for the 4th spot. Charlie Widener having a good showing here tonight. 5th place finish for Charlie Widener. And here comes the 59. Bruce Potter gonna come across in your 6th spot. So Chris Stump did it in dominating fashion here tonight. Leading the most laps, started on the pole, led the most laps, and going to walk away the victor here tonight. Your results are going to scroll across the top of your screen here for your finish as Chris Stump's going to burn them down. So as Chris Stump does his victory lap, we'll be back here to bring you post-race interviews with your top 3 here for the National Speed Association, presented tonight by the Voice Attack. Welcome back here to Rockingham, ladies and gentlemen. You just watched one of a race that was pretty much dominated by that man there. You see him in victory lane, Chris Stump. He led the most laps here tonight. But how about some of the other guys who just kind of hung around in the top 3 all night here? I got one of them here with me, the driver of the number 9 here, Jamie. A 3rd place finish tonight. You qualified second. You ran second all night. It just seems like it looked like AJ Hamill on the long run was able to run you down.
Yeah, I had a good truck starting out, and I was real happy with it. Yeah, AJ caught me there at the end, and I was really ate up the tires trying to get to Chris at the beginning of that last run, so it was everything to hold on to it.
Yeah, we saw you fire off once we had that one and only yellow here tonight. It really bunched the field up. Everybody was slotted back onto an even playing field, and you really were able to hang with Chris Stump there. It looked like for around 10 laps, and then you started to fall back. What did you need tonight to run with the likes of Chris Stump?
More talent? No, I was losing grip in the center. It just wouldn't hold that bottom like I wanted it to, especially in 1 and 2. 3 and 4 seemed pretty decent, but 1 and 2, I just couldn't hold it down to the bottom like I could at the beginning of the run, like you were talking about. So, but real happy. Learned a lot. The set I ran was a set I created, so I was real happy about that.
Yeah, you're able to hang on for a 3rd place finish here tonight. You know, you talk about your setup. I heard from a couple of these drivers that the weather here today from Rockingham a little bit cooler than what they practiced over the week. Did that throw you for a curveball with your set?
Oh yeah, right when we first came in here, it really threw me for a loop because we were setting the truck up for anywhere from 100 to 114, and to get in here and see the temperature around 70 and flex up to about 94, that was a little bit different, but we adjusted on a little bit and got it back to where it needed to be, so real happy with it.
Well, congratulations for coming home in your 3rd position. Anybody you got to give shout outs to that helps out that number 9?
Voice Attack, always like to thank them for sponsoring the series and doing what they do. They've been with us for a while, and we really appreciate their work and partnership with us. So and just want to thank all the guys for coming out, and really appreciate them being here, and we're just working on the league. So again, just shout out to the guys.
Well, there you heard it from your third place finisher, the number 9 of Jamie Christensen, gonna come home third. I also got a word in, though, with A.J. Hamill. A.J. started back in the 8th position. A.J., how did you work yourself through the field here tonight to come home second?
Well, the advantage of not having the talent to hot lap is your tires last a whole lot longer. And as we got into the run, it just seemed like everybody else fell off a lot more and just picked them off and moved forward.
Yeah, it seemed like it took about a little over 20 laps before the tires really came in on that number 18. Did you have the long run speed?
It worked out that way. Can't say that I set it up specifically for that, but when you know you can't run those blazing laps to keep up, you kind of take your time and hope that it works in your favor the way it did tonight. Get these clouds out here. That's something I like to see. I know a lot of guys like it loose and slick, but I'll wrestle this thing any day.
Yeah, we're pretty used to seeing you on these short tracks. So this track, does it really feed into what you like?
I do. I've always liked Rockingham. Run it even in some late models and other cars. Even run it in a street stock, and it's all sort of the same. A little different. You can change your brake points, and I don't know what it is about it, but it was a lot of fun. This thing, my force feedback was up a little high. I don't know, my right wrist may take all week to recover from wrestling it over those bumps in turn 4. Just kept her steady. And
but you talk about the right wrist there, AJ, hurting. It might take all week. We know what it's really from, and we know it's not from the force feedback. But tonight you came in sitting 14th in points after your win in the opening race here for the season. This race really going to help the point standings. You should make a big jump up inside to the top 10 with a good finish.
Well, I can't have my parents watch this episode. Yeah, last week was unfortunate. Probably should have been somewhere in the top 5. It didn't work out, and I had to miss a race a couple weeks ago. So I guess the key is to show up more often, and that'll get us in the top 10. I think we're going to Texas next week. Should be a similar kind of experience where they're going to run away from me, and hopefully they'll come back, or a couple of these guys like to knock each other and the walls down, and we'll take advantage of them.
Yeah, next week, like you said, going to Texas, turn 2 could be real tricky for a lot of guys. They might try and push that wall back a little bit, so try not to do that next week. But hey, is there anybody that helps you out, though, on the number 18 Discount Tire Machine?
Absolutely. Right there in Victory Lane, Mr. Stump helping me out with some setup advice. Wouldn't be sitting here without him. Congrats to him. No shame finishing second to him. I had that nice yellow so I could actually see him by the time the race was over. I gotta thank Jamie for running the league. I've had a lot of fun with these open setups. Not something I normally do, but just showing up and no expectations, having some good times. What do we got? Discount Tire, Arts Barbershop. I guess that's it. Hey, how about you? Even though you're giving me a lot of crap, I'll thank you for putting on a good broadcast.
This was supposed to be a PG-13, and now you just went out and said that. See?
I did that. This is on me, this PG-13.
Well, hey, AJ, congratulations on your second place finish there. That was AJ Hamill. He brought that 18 machine from the 8th position up here to finish in the 2nd spot. But the man that everybody's been waiting to hear from, that man right there, Chris Stump, brought that Cialis machine home, P1 here tonight. Chris, how did you do it? You came into tonight, and your practice time was fast, your qualifying time was fast, and, well, you put her in victory lane.
Yeah, the Cialis Tundra, she didn't lay down tonight and stayed strong throughout. Had a pretty big surprise, like Jamie did when he got in here, and didn't really run many laps this week. Just was kind of content with what I had, and had to throw quite a bit of stuff at it in a short amount of time. Once I got it turning, it was, the speeds were so much higher. I had to get the truck off the track so it wasn't dragging the frame rails and the truck arms and stuff off before. But yeah, it was pretty close. It was tight like everyone else, but I was afraid to make wholesale changes, so just made a small air pressure adjustment and a wedge adjustment. So stayed pretty good.
Yeah, with not having a lot of pit stops here tonight, you really had to get all your work done. Well, for one, it looked like it was going to be just a one-stop race. That caution came out. Did that second pit stop really allow you to tweak on it just a little more?
Yeah, I just made a half-pound adjustment in the left rear that last stop. The first one's where I made a little bit bigger swing. But yeah, it was going to be close on fuel, I think, for everyone. So it really would have been interesting. I think I was like 0.2 of a gallon short, so could have made that up. But the way Jamie was breathing down my neck early in the run and stuff, I had to use a lot more fuel and a lot more tire than what I wanted to.
Yeah, you came into tonight, a short track racer. We've seen you a lot over here on MaxSpeedTV with the short tracks. How about next week? You go to 1.5 miles. How do you think you feel going to Texas?
Well, if I'm there, I got a work obligation that might pose an issue, but I've got a pretty good set. I think everyone here pretty much has that set, so we'll all be on an even playing field. But I really like Texas. It's similar here, hard on tires. Corner entry, kind of dictates everything else. Not overdriving it and letting these things breathe a little bit, getting in and getting rotated. But yeah, I really, for the 1.5 miles, that I'm not a huge fan of generally, but I like Texas, at least the old Texas that we get a chance to run on.
Well, that's next week, so we hope to see you next week from Texas. But who helps you out on that number 98 machine?
I think Voice Attack. They've been awesome. Everyone should check them out. It's really neat software, especially for iRacing, the VR guys. Not having to try to look up underneath the headset and figure out what you're doing. Really want to thank them. I want to thank Cialis for keeping me up on the wheel all night. And I want to thank Jamie for all the hard work he's put into getting this going. We might have a small truck count right now, but I think things have a bright future.
Yeah, well, there you heard it from Chris. Oh, go ahead.
And most of all, you, Roger.
Oh, well, of course you got to thank me. I get it, so it doesn't, affect me with you talking over me. So, no, I'm just kidding. But hey, there's Chris Stump. He's your winner here tonight from Rockingham. He led the field for 104 laps, so that's a show that he put on, just dominating. Teammate A.J. Hamill going to come home second. Jamie Christensen going to come home in your third spot. Trey Hoovler passed Charlie Widener there in the closing laps. Charlie going to hang on, though, for a top 5 finish. There's your top 5 at the top of your screen. Everybody else scrolling across the top. But like you just heard from a couple of your drivers, a little bit lower truck counts allows these guys to really get up on the wheel and have to put a long run setup. But these guys are actively recruiting, so anybody looking for an open truck set here on a Sunday night, head on over to the National Speed Association. Hit up Jamie. They're always looking for new drivers, some new talent out here. But tonight, 110 laps from Rockingham. This little track did do battle to a couple of these guys. You saw a couple guys up into the outside wall, and Chris Stump's truck did look pretty clean here in Victory Lane until he got sideswiped by his little buddy there of A.J. Hamill. But that's going to do it here for us on MaxSpeedTV. You just watched the National Speed Association here, presented by the Voice Attack.